Hey guys, so the video down below is from Vincent Elephants, and he was recently reporting on this very interesting story. The state of Israel has been accused of spying on President Trump via Stingray device. Now, if I understand correctly, this device basically emulates a cell phone tower, so when you come within its proximity, it siphons data from your mobile device or any other kind of device. So, and this really shouldn't come as a surprise to those who are familiar with international espionage. And for what it's worth, the government, our own government, has actually admitted that the state of Israel is the #1 belligerent in terms of spying on the United States, in terms of on its own citizens as well as government officials. And of course, a lot of us would automatically think, okay, maybe it's Russia, maybe it's China, but it turns out to be Israel, and even our own government admits that. So I have to give a lot of credit to Fox News and Brit Hume. Brit Hume did a report sometime within the last couple decades where he was reporting on this this incident where U.S. Navy personnel, he had stolen private data, or rather classified data from the U.S. Navy, and had transmitted it to the state of Israel, and he was charged with espionage. He's currently serving a lifelong sentence in federal prison, and so I give a lot of credit to Fox News for broaching the subject. I don't know if the original video is still available here on YouTube, but Vincent Elephants, he went ahead and played at least part of it on his channel, and you can find that video down below. So I want to kind of go off into another subject here. I also do want to talk about PewDiePie here for a second, because I need to issue a retraction regarding his donation to the ADL. He had initially donated $50,000 to the ADL, and then proceeded to withdraw that donation. Now, I'll get back to that, but I want to talk about Trump, because a lot of us think that Trump is a puppet of Israel. I never really bought that. I think for a little while I was kind of buying into the whole, black-pilled mindset, the Red Ices, the Ramsey Pauls of the world, but I'm quite frankly over that. I don't really have any reason to be all pessimistic about our own president. I think that, quite for what it's worth, I don't think the state of Israel really trusts him. I think even if you're 90% Zionist, as Ryan Dawson has said Trump is, you're still going to get a lot of problems. Or rather, he is. And they obviously don't trust him. They're spying on him. And the fact that he talks about Israel so much, like, he even said in the previous Super Bowl in the interview, he said, well, we have to stay in Syria. We have to stay in Afghanistan and Iraq for Israel. That is a blatant shot across the bow as far as I'm concerned. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very sarcastic. He's basically saying, like, yes, Israel controls a lot of aspects of our own military, like, indirectly. Because, all these wars that we've been fighting, the part of the PNAC agenda, we have been fighting on behalf of Israel and the globalists. And a lot of us are obviously really tired of that. But what Trump has done by talking about Israel that much is that he's raised awareness about Zionism. And for what it's worth, I didn't know anything about Zionism until Trump really came into the office. The only other time that I heard about it was when I was at 24 Hour Fitness, and I've told you guys this story before, where I was with my buddy Josh, and we were weightlifting, and this guy came up and he said, oh, like, you guys are doing it wrong. He was really cool. Like, I remember there was like an instance where I was trying to help my buddy Josh, like, to lift the bar, and he's like, no, he can walk and talk on his own. And him and we always have a good laugh about that. But then when we got to the locker room, he was talking about 9/11 and how the Zionists were behind 9/11. It was an inside job and all this. And that was the only time I had ever heard of Zionism. So fast forward to 2017, when Trump moves the embassy to Jerusalem, then I become more aware of what Zionism actually is and what the relationship is between the United States and Israel. So Trump has done a really good job in terms of raising awareness about that. And going to PewDiePie, he has essentially raised awareness about what the ADL is. It's a authoritarian, anti-free speech group. It's a racketeering group. I mean, they're no better than Al Sharpton and the rest of these race baiters, these poverty pimps. So I think that Trump and PewDiePie, I mean, they're very important people in terms of the culture war. And I mean, let's not kid ourselves. PewDiePie, aka Felix Kjellberg, he's going to be somebody who will be running for office in his neck of the woods sooner than later. He has to. I mean, he has so much influence over not only his own fan base, but the prospective people that are going to join his fan base. I mean, he's not done, in terms of growing his fan base, and neither is Trump. I mean, come 2020, he's going to win the election. Trump is, and come 2024, we're going to look back on the presidency and we're going to remember him fondly. Even parts of the legacy media are going to say, well, the economy was really good. All the things that we said about him weren't necessarily true, so please forgive us. And they're going to do this in order to save face. I mean, they really, ultimately, when he leaves office, there's not going to be any reason for them to keep bashing him, because they're going to want to just say, well, we really need to have viewership. We need to stop alienating our potential viewers, and I think that's just as simply as I can put it. So yeah, guys, check out that video down below from the Vincent Elephants, aka Vincent James from the Red Elephants, Vincent Elephants for short. Let me know what you guys think. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. I'll see you later.